Hello, I hope you're staying safe and well as you shelter in place at home, and I hope that you're continuing to enjoy the liturgies we're streaming here from Transfiguration. I wanted to record another video to talk a little more about them and to preview a piece of music that I'll be playing this Sunday morning. First, a note about our service last Sunday, which was morning prayer instead of the Eucharist. This Sunday we'll be offering the Eucharist in the morning, but also recording a service of evensong that we're going to then send out to you in the afternoon for use on Sunday evening or whenever you have time to listen to it in the week. These two services are really distinctly part of our Anglican heritage, almost like nothing else. They were invented really by one person, Thomas Cranmer, who was Archbishop of Canterbury under Henry VIII, at the time the Church of England broke away from the Church of Rome. And in Cranmer's first Book of Common Prayer, which was published in 1549, which was, of course, the first book to put all the worship of the Church into English, in that book, Cranmer really created the services of matins and evensong, as he called them, from pre-existing medieval offices by combining two services into one. In the case of matins, he combined matins and lauds. In the case of evensong, he combined vespers and compline, and created these services that contained music and also just so much scripture, which of course was his great theological passion. Indeed, each service would have a reading from the Old Testament as well as the New, as well as the Psalms, all in English, and accompanied by canticles. Of course, canticles are songs from Scripture. In this case, this Sunday at Evensong, the canticles that Cranmer himself chose for Evensong, which are the Magnificat, the Song of Mary, and the Nunc Dimittis, the Song of Simeon from the first two chapters of Luke's Gospel. And our wonderful cantors, Erin and Joshua, will be singing them in a beautiful unison setting by the English composer Sir George Dyson, who incidentally, his son was Freeman Dyson, the American physicist who died just last month. Anyhow, that's what you can expect for our evensong this Sunday afternoon. This Sunday morning, we are going to have a Eucharist. Again, thanks to Joshua and Erin for singing at that. And I'm going to be concluding the service with a voluntary by a living composer who lives right here in San Francisco named David Conti. Some of you may be familiar with him because he was the teacher of my immediate predecessor here, Eric Choate, and he's taught many other wonderful composers. Although he is much younger than last year, the composer of last week's postlude, Kenneth Layton, he writes in some ways in a more conservative style. He's often referred to as a neo-romantic composer because he uses a lot of lyrical, melodic lines in his writing, a lot of lush harmonies. And he really is a wonderful writer for the organ, although he's not an organist himself, and brings out the many beautiful sounds that the organ has to offer. So I wanted to give you a preview of this piece. It's his Recollection. It was actually written in memory of someone who had died, and it has this beautiful quiet opening and quiet conclusion, and this beautiful triumphant play on the melody in the middle that I think is a suitable pairing for this Sunday's gospel reading, this Sunday morning's gospel, which is the raising of Lazarus, a momentous and joyous occasion to be sure, but then also tinged by the recollection that we are going to be heading into Passiontide all too soon. So this again is David Conti's Recollection for organ. I do hope that you will join us at 10:30 this Sunday for our live streamed service, and look in your email inboxes or on the homepage of our website for our evensong later that afternoon.